IMSA has a huge presence at the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year. A lot of the teams on the grid for the 93rd edition of this race also happen to compete in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series, and these teams have multiple entries across the three classes of Hypercar, LMP2, and LMGT3. In this video, I'll be joined by IMSA content creator Stu, who runs the YouTube channel Off in the S's, as we break down the IMSA teams and their entries at the 2025 Le Mans 24 Hour. First off, the Hypercar class, which will feature a total of 6 teams that also compete in IMSA this year. I'll begin with the reigning IMSA GTP champions and the current championship leaders Porsche Penske Motorsport. And at Le Mans this year, they will have 3 cars on the grid, which are the number 4, number 5, and number 6 cars. And in fact, a lot of the IMSA team is here to help the WEC squad get a big result at Le Sarthe. For example, Drivers' Championship leaders Felipe Nasr and Nick Tandy are racing in this event for the team in the number 4 car alongside Pascal Wehrlein. However, the team of Porsche Penske Motorsport aren't the only ones running Porsches in IMSA that are present in the Hypercar class. Proton Competition are another team in the top class this year, with the squad running their number 99 Porsche 963, as alongside their participation with a 963 in IMSA, where they compete part-time with the Mustang sampling number 5 car, the German squad also races full-time in the WEC, and will be making an appearance at Le Mans in Hypercar for the second time in a row with this number 99 entry. Then we have AF Corsa, who's a very successful team in Hypercar with 3 Ferrari 499P entries, as they look to secure a 3rd overall win at Le Mans in 2025. AF Corsa does compete in IMSA, but not with the 499P, but more on them later as we get into more classes at Le Mans. Newcomers to IMSA GTP, the Heart of Racing team, will also be present at Le Mans with their brand new Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR LMH. The team, which races the number 23 Valkyrie full-time in IMSA, is not just new to the GTP ranks but also to the Hypercar ranks, as they are making their first appearance at Le Mans in the top category, with their full season 007 and 009 Aston Martin entries. The final IMSA teams in the Hypercar class are both running Cadillac entries, and these 2 squads are Wayne Taylor Racing and Action Express Racing. And if you're familiar with IMSA, you already know these teams mainly from their participation in the prototype ranks in the North American Series. Action Express is making their 3rd appearance at Le Mans with the number 311 Whelen Cadillac. But as for Wayne Taylor Racing, they are making their debut at the iconic French endurance race, bringing the number 101 Cadillac V Series R to the grid, and marking team founder Wayne Taylor's return to Le Mans for the first time since 2002 with Cadillac. By the way, this particular Hypercar entry from the team is technically just the blue-nosed number 10 Cadillac, which usually competes in GTP. Moving on to the LMP2 class, and just like Hypercar, there are a few IMSA teams in this category at Le Mans. In fact, the P2 class features 7 teams which compete during the 2025 season of IMSA. First up, we have United Autosports, who like in IMSA will run 2 Oracle 07 entries at the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year, and they'll be looking to defend their winner's crown from last year. Then there's Inter-Europol competition, and while the Polish team is new to the IMSA grid, they definitely have experience at Le Mans, having won here in 2023. And this year, they are bringing 2 cars, which are the number 34 and number 43 Oracle 07 entries. Next, and alongside their Hypercar participation, both Proton Competition and AF Corsa will be on the LMP2 grid this year at Le Mans. Proton will race in the P2 category with the number 9 and number 11 cars, while AF Corsa will bring the number 183 entry to the grid. And the Italian team are already familiar with this kind of racing because they also race in LMP2 in IMSA. The Portuguese team of Algarve Pro Racing are also here at Le Mans with 2 cars in LMP2 this year. And if you're confused whether they compete in IMSA or not, well, they actually do, but they are more commonly under the name Crown Strike Racing over in the WeatherTech series. Next we have TDS Racing, The squad, which took the victory at the season finale last year in IMSA at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, will return to the Le Mans grid with a single car, which is the number 29 Oreca 07. Finally, we have a team and entry in LMP2, which I'm sure IMSA fans will immediately recognize. Spike the Dragon and AO Racing are back at Le Mans with the number 199 car represented on the grid. The team and their liveries have become iconic in the IMSA world, including Spike the Dragon in LMP2 and the Rexy and Roxy designs on the Porsche 911 GT3R. Last year, the team got on the podium in LMP2, and in 2025, AO Racing and TF Sport are looking to give the Purple Dinosaur the first place trophy this time round. Now, let me hand things over to Stu at Off in the Yeses to talk about IMSA's presence in LMGT3.
Thanks, Jonah. Now, there's going to be some great teams competing in this year's 24 Hours of Le Mans, including some notable ones in the LMGT3 class. We're going to start off with the AF Corsa team, and one of the most experienced and successful teams that we're going to see that shares time in IMSA as well as the WEC. And in this year's 24 Hours of Le Mans, they'll be competing with the number 21 Vista AF Corsa Ferrari, the number 54 Vista AF Corsa Ferrari, and the number 50 Richard Mille AF Corsa Ferrari 296 LMGT3 entries. Of course, they will be competing in some other classes, notably in the hypercar class as well, but I'm here to focus on their LMGT3 efforts. In the number 21, they'll be competing with Francois Hero, Simon Mann, and Alessio Rivera, while in the number 54, it will see Thomas Flor, Francesco Castellacci, and Davide Rigon in that car. And in number 150, it will see Custodio Toledo, Lila Wadu, and Riccardo Agostini competing. The team brings with them a ton of experience, 65 total starts across many years in this race. They've competed in the hypercar class for a couple of years, a few years in LMP2, an LMGT3 effort last year, 13 years in the GTE Pro class. That's a ton of races, 9 years in the GTE Am class, and 4 years in the GT2 class. With all that experience, they've also won plenty of times here. In 2024, they won both the Hypercar and LMP2 class. In 2023, they won in Hypercar. In 2021, they won in GTE Am and GTD Pro. In 2019, they won in GTE Pro. 2014, they won in GTE Pro. And in 2012, they won in GTE Pro. Currently in IMSA, they're racing with the number 88 AF Corsa LMP2 entry and the number 21 and 50 AF Corsa GTD entries. From a very experienced team like AF Corsa to a rookie team in AWA, we have the number 13 Corvette Z06 LMGT3R. They're going to be competing with drivers Ore Fadani, Matt Bell, and Lars Kern, and as I mentioned, this is the team's first experience at Le Mans, and they compete with the number 13 AWA Corvette in IMSA's GTD class. AWA is going to be a really fun one to watch in this race. They have, in my opinion, the best livery on the grid, and they've also won some of IMSA's biggest races, with them being two-time Rolex 24 champions in the LMP3 class, as well as earlier this year in the GTD class. So AWA has an opportunity to do something that Porsche Penske Motorsports is also looking to do, and that's win the Rolex 24 and the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the same year. Another fan favorite entry on the grid will be the Iron Dames and the number 85 Iron Dames Porsche 911 GT3R LMGT3. What a mouthful that is. In that car will be Celia Martin, Rahel Frey, and Sarah Bovey, who replaces Michelle Gadding due to an injury sustained in testing. This team has a handful of Le Mans starts to their name, with 1 in LMGT3 and 5 in the GTE Am class. They have a previous best finish of 4th in 2023 in the GTE Am class, and they're competing in IMSA with the number 83 Iron Dames GTD entry. Another very experienced team at this year's 24 Hours of Le Mans is Proton Competition. They'll be there competing with the number 77 and 88 Proton Competition Ford Mustang LMGT3s. In the number 77, it will see Bernardo Sousa, Ben Tuck, and Ben Barker competing, while while in the 88 it will see Stefano Gattuso, Gianmarco Lavorato, and Dennis Olsen competing. The team has 55 24 Hours of Le Mans starts under their belt, with 1 LMP2 start, an LMGT3 start, 4 GTE Pro starts, and 13 GTE AM starts to go along with 3 GT2 starts. With all that experience, they do have a couple of class wins under their belt as well, including the 2010 GT2 win and the 2018 GTE AM class win. In IMSA, they're competing with the number 5 Proton Competition GTP entry and the number 20 Proton Competition GTD Pro entry. Longtime IMSA team, the Heart of Racing, will also be on the grid at Le Mans with the 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin Vantage AMR LMGT3. Now, like AF Corsa, they will also be competing in the hypercar class, but again, I'm going to focus on their LMGT3 effort, which will consist of drivers Ian James, Mattia Drudi, and Zach Robichon. The Heart of Racing does have a previous LMGT3 start under their belt, and a single GTE AM start as well, and that's where they had their best finish of 6th in 2023. Stateside and IMSA, they compete with the number 23 Heart of Racing GTP entry and the number 27 Heart of Racing GTD entries. Lastly, there's United Autosports, and they'll be competing with the number 59 and 95 United Autosports McLaren 720S LMGT3 Evos. In the 59, we'll see James Cottingham, Gregory Saucy, and Sebastian Bode competing, while in the number 95 it will feature Darren Leung, Sean Galale, and Marino Sato. The team has 8 years of LMP2 experience under their belt and an LMGT3 start last year. To go along with that past experience, they have a couple of LMP2 class wins in 2020 and 2024. The team competes in IMSA with 2 LMP2 entries, the number 2 and the number 22 United Autosport LMP2s.
Thanks, Stu. So of the IMSA teams that are competing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year, which squad will you be supporting during this event? Well, make sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. But hold up a second, there's actually one more thing I want to mention. IMSA's presence at the 24 Hours of Le Mans goes beyond just the individual teams. There's actually quite a few drivers that compete in IMSA that are also racing at Le Mans this year. So make sure to watch me and Stu's video over on the Off in the S's YouTube channel, where we break down all the IMSA drivers at Le Mans this year. And you can watch that video by clicking the option to the left-hand side of your screen.